Welcome to She Made That, a series that celebrates creative women. I'm your host, Daniela, and every month I sit down with women to hear their stories, what they create, and why.
She made that. She made that. You're so creative. She made that.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining me today on another creative discussion. Before we begin, can you give yourself a little introduction as well as the business you created for yourself?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Rachel. I'm a success alchemist, and I show entrepreneurs how to make small shifts in their mindset and business that lead to big transformation in whatever area that's most important to them.
Oh, okay, cool. How long have you been helping other businesses?
I love that question because when I started to think about it, I was like, well, I started my business in 2016, but I've been helping other businesses my entire career has always been about in service of the people, the teams that I'm with, the company that I'm with, the founders that I work with. So forever. No, but I've had my business since 2016.
Oh, okay, cool. So, why was your calling to be a success alchemist? Have you always just wanted to help other people?
That's such a deep question. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, my career background is in sales and marketing, and especially in the creative aspects. So part of my business for a long time was branding and web design and online presence strategy. But when I was working with founders and entrepreneurs, I found that what I was really good at, uh, yes, the marketing and sales, but it was really the systems and the processes, the big picture thinking with the ability to narrow into the details. So, and then with my longstanding uh, business experience, having been a business owner for so long, that's what I bring to the table in that business aspect. And that's how I can help folks alchemize their success in business. But alchemy is the process of transformation and creation. And mindset is a huge aspect of that. And so for many, many years, I was very much into personal and professional development. Um, but I found that I was still really suffering in a lot of areas of my life and had a lot of dissatisfaction. My well-being was really poor. My relationships were really poor. And my business was successful, but I was really unhappy with the direction of it. And so that's when I started to really look at mindset. And I discovered that when I had a systematic way to change my mindset in little small areas, in these small shifts that I could do, they created big transformation in my life. So through mindset, I was able to lose 100 pounds, quit drinking alcohol. I changed up my personal relationships, and I was able to transition my business from more of a marketing focus to the success alchemy. Um, and I'm a big believer in co-creating with the universe. So as a universal being, I'm here to co-create with other people to build a better future. And most folks I work with are pretty solo, or they have a very small team, but they lead heart-centered businesses and organizations that are doing good in the world. So it's my pleasure to assist with that, to help them in their success, because their success helps them to build better communities and better societies together and essentially raise up humanity together.
Wow, that must feel rewarding to help people in that way, right?
Yeah, it is rewarding. And I love seeing people have an aha moment. And I recently ran into somebody who we had worked together about a year ago. And we had stayed in touch in emails and stuff like that, but it was more just like pleasantries and stuff. But I ran into them at a networking event recently, and they were just saying like how much they had transformed from our time working together, how impactful that was for them. And they were saying that today they're having more fun in their business than they've ever had. And they've been in business for 20 years. So that was really rewarding to hear that, I had offered them some perspective shifts and they really took that and ran with it. And not only are they having success in their business today, but they're also having more fun doing it. And that's so important to me.
Now, what would you say is the biggest barrier to a mindset transformation? Like, what main issues do your clients face when they come to you?
I think the biggest barrier for a mindset transformation is your current mindset. I remember when I wanted to quit drinking alcohol, for example, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I literally could not, I was like, I could not imagine not drinking or going somewhere and watching other people drink. And I thought that that was going to be such a hard and difficult process. And so, but that was my current mindset. So what we tend to do when we want to achieve something is we're looking at it from the place of our current mindset. So when it's because we don't have that thing, we don't have experience with that thing. We're imagining what the experience is like to have that thing from our current understanding and knowledge. And that it's not accurate. Our current mindset is not accurate. It's not making an accurate interpretation of what it's like to be, do, and have that other thing that we kind of desire. And certainly in business, a lot of folks think like, well, I want to create this thing or do this thing. And then they build this mountain of, well, then I'm going to have to do this, or I'm going to have to get funding, or I'm going to have to hire people. And I don't want to hire people. I don't trust anybody, and they're kind of building all these scenarios and putting up all these roadblocks to this idea. And it's because they're doing it from their current mindset. So if we can just realize that our mindset is not us, it is been, programmed by our experiences, by our childhood, in society, etc., movies, televisions that we watch, the podcasts we listen to, etc. We're in this kind of bubble that is feeding us and confirming our current mindset and our biases. And then we're using that to imagine what it's like to do something else. And we're limited in that understanding. So I would say that is the biggest barrier. So being able to kind of let go of this idea that what you're thinking something is going to be is true, or that you're completely accurate in like what you're imagining, all the things you'll have to do in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve.
That's awesome. I personally believe that success only happens if you actually enjoy what you're doing. So I love that you're able to provide that with your clients. Now, do you offer your services virtually or are they in person?
Thank you. Yeah, having the outcome or whatever it is that you want to achieve is such a small blip in your entire life, right? So enjoying the journey, and even just regardless of the outcome is so important, because maybe the outcome is going to shift or change in a good way, in a positive way, right? And then even once you achieve the thing that you want to achieve, like let's say you want a multi-million-dollar business, well, you need to maintain that. Or even if it's something simple, like, I want to create more boundaries on the weekend and have more rest in the evenings or whatever. You have to maintain that once you achieve that. And so even just the maintenance of it and the creation of it needs to be enjoyable, because that's what you're doing every day. That's the day in and the day out. Yeah, my services are mostly virtual just because that seems to work best for people, but I do in-person workshops and events, and I do occasionally meet clients in person if it's, if they're close by and it works out.
Well said. I too believe that longevity is important. Now, do you have a website where people can find you?
Yes, I do. It's aaashift.com. And the AAA is a reference to my signature model, which is the AAA method.
which is actually how we transform your mindset and your business in just 3 steps. And those 3 steps are awareness, alignment, and activation. So it's aaashift.com.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely add that in the description. Rachel, thank you so much again for joining me today. Keep doing what you're doing and take care.
Thank you so much for having me.
She made that. She made that. You're so creative. She made that.